People ask me all the time, like, bro, Lucid, is it actually real? Like, you can really go on the dark web and just purchase an item and it comes to your front doorstep like it's Amazon? Yeah. The only difference is that the shipping isn't that fast, but you actually, technically, theoretically, could purchase items on the dark web and it really would arrive. Now, I want to make something really clear before I continue. I've never actually purchased any illegal substances off the dark web in my life. I'm going to tell you a firsthand experience of my really close friend in real life. But before I do that, to the YouTube manual reviewer that's watching this video, because I requested you to look over it manually because it got demonetized, I want to make something very, very clear to you. This video does not go against any ad policies. I'm not talking about distributing, facilitating, soliciting, or even teaching anybody how to purchase illegal substances online. This video is posed as a cautionary tale from a journalistic perspective of what theoretically could happen and why it's so harmful and why you should not do it, hence the title of this video. So as long as that's clear, I will stick consistent to that logic throughout this entire video. Okay, now what actually happened to my friend was he went on the dark web. He looked up a lot of sites online to see what's actually real and fake. He did his research the same way that any savvy shopper would. He looked through different buyers and vendors to see who's really legit and who offers the best quality product. And he purchased an item on the dark web. I'm pretty sure he used Bitcoin, and I'm not sure whether or not he tumbled the Bitcoin or he tried to, use some anonymizing service to keep it away from his personal name. But I know that he purchased this on the dark web and it actually arrived at his house. Now, the item that he purchased was something that if you were to take, it'd make you trip out. It's also I'm not going to say the name of it, but it's also the thing that Mario eats whenever he wants to get bigger. And so that's what my friend purchased on the dark web. And when it arrived at his house, the level of discreetness in this packaging was so genius. And so I always thought, like, can't any of these postal services just like have guard dogs smell for anything that's illegal, or they can at least x-ray packages or look at packages before they get shipped out to make sure they're not illegal substances? And yes, they could, and they even do sometimes, but a lot of times they don't ever really catch what's being moved through their mailing service because shipping is just so fast. So if they put like priority shipping, they send it out, it usually hits the air like as soon as possible. So they don't really have time to go through and scan and check every package. But what they also do to make sure that even if someone does check the package, they don't get caught. My friend told me from firsthand experience, and I believe him, by the way, like I really think that he's being truthful here. He opened up this package that arrived at his house. I don't know why he sent it to his own house, but he did. And the from address that a package came from was some sort of like, he opened up on the Google Maps, some sort of rundown house that basically nobody actually lives at. And then the to address was his house. So then when he opened this up, it looked like a regular purchase, something that you would buy off of Etsy. And there was like a big letter that came in the package. And it was like, thank you for purchasing from our Etsy shop. We're just a small mom and pop shop. We're trying to be, we're doing this out of like a hobby project. And it was this full fake sob story about, it looked like someone actually sold him an item on Etsy. We thank you so much for buying our homemade organic fertilizer. You can use this to help your plants grow. It gave like a full story that was fake. And what it did, you had to kind of read in between the lines, but what it was doing was it was telling you how to use this soil fertilizer on plants and the exact amount to use of the soil fertilizer on the plant so that it can grow most optimally based on how large or how much your plant actually weighs. And if you haven't realized already, what this is basically saying is how much to actually ingest as a human being. And so it had to word it that way and act like it was some sort of Etsy seller. And it was talking about plants so that they don't get caught. If anybody wants to open up their package, it looks like it's some regular innocent soil fertilizer that someone's buying online. And he was explaining to me that, it came in some rather odd packaging. It was zipped up so that, nobody can go through and smell it. I think that's like smell proofing or something like that. But when he opened it up, it came in capsules. You know how like when you take vitamins, for instance, it comes in that clear like gelatin rubbery capsule? It came in those capsules. It was like grinded down so it's more discreet. And then it was the like paper was telling him how to open up the capsule and how much of it to pour in grams on his soil to like pour water on it and actually fertilize his soil. And so that's what this seller does to fully remain anonymous. And even if he does end up getting his packages seized, the average person would look at this, oh, it's whatever, just some sort of innocent Etsy package. So I was really interested. Like, what else are people doing with other types of substances that they're selling over the mail to remain anonymous? And people online on Reddit were even saying, like, one time I ordered I'm not going to say the name of this item, but this item also makes you trip. He's like, I ordered a lot of this item, right? And the person sent me I think it was like a Star Wars magazine that was factory sealed. And it looked like I bought this off of eBay. Like I purchased like a really rare collector's item, Star Wars magazine or something. It was something like that. And the seller told me over the like website that he was buying it on, check page 42. And he goes, what the hell is this? I didn't buy a Star Wars magazine. He opens it up, pulls off the factory seal, goes to page 42, and the entire page is the substance that he ordered. And like, bro, that is next level. These guys are freaking really, really smart when it comes to avoiding getting caught. And so those are just a couple of ways. These are all, by the way, older methods. I'm not even sure what's happening nowadays. If you have any experience, let me know in the comments. But I'm not sure what's actually happening now and how they're avoiding getting caught all this time. And so honestly, even though this sounds really cool, like it's so interesting and how it comes in, it's fully undetected, what really does happen to some people is that the police will go and find who's selling these items, right? The marketplace owner, they can't really stop sometimes, but they can tell who is selling these items whenever they actually do end up catching them. And so they go back to find this person and they can tell them, okay, you're going to work for us. You're going to be an informant to avoid jail time or make your jail time a lot less, for instance. And you're going to keep on sending these items out. Of course, not the real drug, but something fake, like a I don't know, like a piece of paper or something like that. That's not actually real. You're going to send it to all the guys that are getting these orders placed. And once it arrives at their house, we're going to wait next to the postal man. And whenever he tells them, here, sign for this package, we're going to go and raid them and actually take them and put them in handcuffs and take them back to the station. And so if you look up, this actually, by the way, does actually happen. So if the police do find out who the seller is, they can make them an informant and just start catching everybody that's purchasing these items online to get as much intel as they possibly can. And so if you haven't ever known, if you have to sign for a package that comes into your house and you're not sure what this package is, but it says your name on it, so whatever. If you sign for a package, what you're basically saying legally is, I made this purchase. I'm fully aware that I purchased this. I know where it's from, who it's coming to, and I am aware that I am now signing this package onto my possession, and now I own this package. And so if you do that, just know that if there's anything illegal in that box, whether you know it or not, if there's anything illegal in that box, you're basically saying, yup, no problem, I own this item now. And police know that too, of course. So the second that you sign and you press done and you take the package from the postman and you hold it, the police can come and raid you, put you in handcuffs and take you back and possibly even throw you in jail. And so this sort of thing does actually happen. The second thing that could happen is that the item that you get could be laced with something that could really, really danger or harm you or basically end your existence. And so that sort of thing does happen to people on the dark web are very, very strange and weird. And so I see some videos of some people talking about it online where if they were to purchase items, there's like testing kits that people buy, right? And they go buy these testing kits. By the way, it's legal, I'm pretty sure, to buy these testing kits because there's nothing illegal in that transaction. And then they test the item that they have to make sure that it's not laced with something that could actually harm them permanently. People actually go through this entire process to make sure that they're getting a quality product. And then just like any other marketplace, they go say, oh, 5-star review, it came in quick, fast shipping, seller was great, 1, 2, and 3, it was super discreet. And so these marketplaces actually run and thrive to have a full escrow service so that whenever someone would be sending money in, it doesn't go from buyer to seller. But it's kind of like eBay, for instance, where PayPal or eBay would just hold the money for a little while until the seller gives the item to the buyer. Everything looks good for a couple of days. No one has any problems. And then they give the money to the seller. This way they can avoid scams. But then sometimes what ends up happening is during the escrow process where the marketplace owner is holding the money in their Bitcoin wallet first, they end up just doing an exit scam where like they're holding the money for a day, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Everyone's like, bro, why are you not paying out? The whole site shuts down and they have millions of dollars. They just exit and like basically rug pull everybody. And so it's really shady. You could possibly lose your money, lose your life, or even go to prison by doing any of this. And so I, of course, like I said earlier in this video, don't recommend it, but that's actually what could theoretically, technically happen if somebody was to make an illegal purchase on the dark web. Besides, of course, just getting straight up scammed by all the fake scamming websites. And so I don't recommend doing it, but that's technically what could go down. I have more dark web videos. If you want to see more of that, you can watch this video right over here. Thank you for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.